To our top story now, British Foreign Secretary David Miliband has said Britain will take 4 measures in sanctioning Russia as a result of Russia's refusal to extradite Andrei Lugovoy, Russian businessman who's been charged in Britain with the murder of former security officer Alexander Litvinenko. Well, for the very latest on this, let's cross live now to our London correspondent, Daria Pishkova. Daria, let's begin with what exactly these sanctions are. Can you bring us the details?
Absolutely. Britain's Foreign Secretary David Miliband said that Russia's refusal to extradite Andrei Lugovoy is extremely disappointing, and the goal of the message was to send the signal, a clear and appropriate signal to Russia, that Britain regards this matter very seriously. Now, the measures that David Miliband mentioned in his speech were basically concerning reviewing of cooperation with Russia in a certain amount of spheres, and but the main piece of news is that Britain has announced that it will expel 4 Russian diplomats from the UK. Now, it is not clear who those people are, and it is not clear what level these diplomats work at. Their names have not been revealed, but it is clear now that 4 Russian diplomats will have to leave British soil. Now, another thing that he has announced is that the extent of cooperation with Russia on a number of issues will be reviewed, and the first thing that the British authorities are going to start with is the visa facilitation cooperation. There has been a process between Britain and Russia of facilitating the process of issuing visa. Now, these negotiations are going to be suspended. The third action it includes some further international agreements in which Britain is going to seek promises from its European partners that if Andrei Lugovoy travels abroad from Russia, he would be extradited to Britain. And the last measure for the moment is that Britain will discuss further with its EU partners the range of cooperation with Russia, and would also ask the European Union partners to take into consideration Britain's concerns. Now, to the offer of Russian authorities to possibly try Andrei Lugovoy in Moscow, David Miliband had a response saying that the fact that Russia's constitution forbids extraditing its own citizens should not be in the way. His quote was that Britain, it is not a unique situation, and other countries have amended their constitutions. And now, this whole situation over the Litvinenko murder was seen as the first big foreign policy test for new Gordon Brown government, and it has to be that it has to be said that the response from the government has been quite aggressive. It has also to be noted that within 10 years of being in the office as a prime minister, Tony Blair never expelled any Russian diplomats, and this is the first time that the Russian diplomats are being expelled since 1996, before Tony Blair time. Now, Gordon Brown, who has officially not yet held a single conversation with Russia's President Vladimir Putin, is already starting the relationship with Russia by expelling the foreign diplomats. And it has to be said that David Miliband's statement was broadly welcomed by the parliamentarians. He has found support from William Hague, Shadow Foreign Secretary, who said he supported the decision. Now, there are people in Britain who argue that this is not the wisest decision that could have been taken by the Foreign Office. They say that Britain needs Russia as a partner, and although all the officials acknowledge that they would like to see Russia as a partner and as an ally, these measures seem to be quite tough for the range of cooperation to continue the way it was before. And also, it has to be mentioned that British and Russian economic ties have never been this strong, but the British businessmen who are involved in Russia here in Britain, they say they're fearing that this whole row will affect the relationship, and it might affect the economic ties between Russia and Britain.
So heated debate already being sparked by those strong words from the new Foreign Secretary in Britain, David Miliband. For now, Daria Pishkova, thank you for that update from London.